One of the things my detractors love to point out is that I'm old, almost 61 in fact. But one of the advantages to that is I got to grow up in a little bit different time. A time when men could have safe spaces, places to hang out, and work on whatever it is they wanted to work on without having to worry about women being around and doing what women do, making it all about them. Which is why they went about making sure that any gym that catered primarily or only to men was targeted and harassed until they accepted women, while at the same time insisting that it's perfectly fine to have women-only gyms. The primary argument, of course, being that it's safer for women to have women-only gyms, while at the same time arguing that they want to be able to go to men's gyms because, well, they aren't dangerous? Female logic for you, right? And men were generally accepting of it, and we managed to peacefully coexist for a few years, but that had to come to an end also. Because not only did women want to have women-only gyms, they wanted to ensure that they had first right of refusal on the co-ed gyms, even going so far as to saying men shouldn't be allowed in them. And while they had some progress with that, it wasn't moving fast enough. They wanted to ensure that men weren't welcome in any gym. So they started using a new tactic, making shaming videos. They would set up cameras and start working out, taking hours and hours of video, waiting for that one guy that gave them a half-second glance. And then they would post that video online, claiming the guy was ogling them and harassing them, all in an attempt to shame him. But not just him, all men. All to make them afraid of going to the gym for fear of being doxxed online. They did and are doing everything to make the gyms as toxic for men as they possibly can so they can feel safer. I guess men feeling safe isn't part of the equation. So men got smart. They realized what was going on and retreated from the gyms, decided to start working out at home, which if you have a garage is very easy to do. But if you don't, it gets a little more complicated. Fortunately, many complexes, apartment buildings, neighborhoods have gyms of their own, places guys could go and work out without having to worry about dealing with women at the gym. Well, now they're looking to take that away.
You know that in the United States, 1 in 3 women feel really uncomfortable when you're in the apartment gym and a group of boys comes in when they can just go to the actual gym and never feel uncomfortable?
Well, let's start by saying that 100 out of 100 women love to make statistics up and spout them as if they're the truth, when in reality it's just a fantasy she created in her mind. But let's get to the heart of what she said, which is that women feel uncomfortable when boys come into the gym. Unless you think this is a one-off video, let me give you exhibit number 2.
The pick-me men have got to get out of the apartment gym.
The pick-me men? You mean the men that have happy, healthy relationships? Something which you'll never have because of your obvious toxicity? Okay. Please continue.
I was just in the apartment gym and I was doing my thing, okay? I was 25 minutes into my lift. You know, I was doing like little baby curls and I was even going for like the lateral lunge, which I'm not that confident in.
Oh my. So she did a few bicep curls and a few laterals. La-di-freaking-da. There's nothing special about that. People do them every single day. And what they have to do with the rest of what you're saying, I don't know. But continue.
3 men walk in.
Oh my God.
Like, kind of like 25. And I'm like,
Notice what she did there. They walked in the gym. They didn't say anything to her. They didn't do anything to her. And horror of horrors, they happen to be about 25. Ooh.
don't we know that the apartment gyms are for the girls?
No, they're not. This is a beautiful example of the mindset today's modern women have. And why I say men should never trust a woman. Any woman. Because they're all capable of having this mindset. We can never know which ones will and which ones won't. And the ones that don't will often acquire it. Put another way, it's all women till it's no women. And if you have a problem with me saying that, let me remind you, women have been saying it's all men till it's no men for decades, and nobody batted an eye about it. The reality in this case is the one who's dangerous in that room is her. She's already shown that she'll make presumptions and assumptions about men, and from there it's a very small leap to making an actual false allegation. She is an absolute risk to those three men who happen to walk into that gym. Not them, her. And the fact that she feels entitled to that space, that it should be hers and hers alone and no men should be allowed, and the fact that those men paid to use that space just like she did through dues or HOA fees is irrelevant to her. Her sense of entitlement says it's her space and hers alone, simply because she's decided she's afraid. Not based on anything they said or anything they did, but simply because they happen to be men. It is pure unadulterated sexism. And anyone who says otherwise is just fooling themselves.